In a noisy world, silence often feels like weakness. But what if silence is actually your greatest strength? In this video, we'll explore what Buddha taught about silence and why it may be the most powerful response you can ever choose. Buddha once said, "Silence is better than 1,000 hollow words." At first glance, silence may appear as inaction, a lack of response. But in reality, silence can be one of the most powerful choices you can make. Silence is not weakness. It is not fear. It is awareness. It is the conscious decision to pause, to rise above ego, and to step away from the endless cycle of reaction. Think about it. When someone insults you, criticizes you, or misunderstands you, your first impulse may be to fight back, to defend your image, to explain, to prove them wrong. But Buddha invites us to consider another path. What if, instead of reacting, you remained still? What if your silence was not avoidance, but mastery? A signal that you are not controlled by external chaos, but rooted in inner clarity. In silence, you protect your energy. You don't give your peace away to someone else's anger. You don't fuel conflict with more noise. Silence gives you space to think, to breathe, to observe. It creates distance between stimulus and response. And in that space, you regain your power. Because sometimes the strongest statement is the one left unspoken. In silence, you don't lose. In silence, you stay in control. There is a well-known story from the life of the Buddha, one that reveals the quiet power of silence. One day, as Buddha sat in meditation, a man approached him, filled with rage. With clenched fists and a harsh voice, the man hurled insults at him. He shouted accusations, trying to provoke, to disturb, to dominate. But Buddha remained calm. He did not flinch. He did not speak. He simply sat in silence, grounded, present, and unmoved. Frustrated, the man finally shouted, "Why don't you respond to me?" Buddha looked at him gently and said, "If someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man paused, confused by the question. Then Buddha continued, "In the same way, I do not accept your anger. It remains with you." This simple yet profound moment reveals a great truth. You don't have to receive what others throw at you. You don't have to carry their pain, their judgments, or their projections. Silence is not weakness. It is wisdom in action. It is the choice to protect your energy, to remain free from the emotional chaos of others. Because when you refuse to react, you also refuse to inherit their suffering. This is the true strength of silence, not passive, but powerful. In today's world, silence is often mistaken for weakness. People assume that if you're quiet, you mustn't know what to say, or that you're too afraid to stand up for yourself. But true silence, the kind Buddha spoke of, is not surrender. It is strength with restraint. It is the quiet power of someone who chooses not to be disturbed by chaos. Buddha taught, "Do not speak harshly to anyone. Those who are spoken to will answer you in the same way." Angry speech is painful. Blows for blows will touch you. When we react from emotion, especially anger, we invite more anger into our lives. We get pulled into a cycle of conflict, where words become weapons, and peace is the first casualty. But when we pause, when we choose silence, something shifts. You hold your ground. You no longer give others the power to shake your spirit. You protect your energy from being wasted on battles that don't deserve your presence. Silence gives you the space to respond, not from ego, but from awareness, not with impulse, but with wisdom. It doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you choose not to let your emotions speak louder than your values. So the next time you feel provoked, pause, be still, and remember, silence is not weakness, it is maturity. There are moments in life when silence is not just the absence of words. It becomes a powerful message in itself. It says, I'm not here to fight. I don't need to prove myself. My peace matters more than this argument. In those moments, silence speaks volumes. It speaks of self-control, of maturity, of inner strength. Instead of reacting from impulse or ego, silence gives you space to reflect, to take a step back and ask, is this really worth my energy? Is this conflict feeding my growth or draining my spirit? When you remain silent, you begin to notice things more clearly. That the argument was temporary, but your peace is long-lasting. That the other person's pain is theirs to carry, not yours to absorb. That the lesson behind the conflict was more valuable than any comeback you could have given. You don't always need to speak to be understood. Sometimes, the most powerful statement is your calm presence in the storm. Silence invites understanding, not only of others, but of yourself. It slows down the noise of the world so you can hear the truth within. And once you begin to listen to your own silence, you start to realize how loud it actually is. In a reactive world, silence is revolutionary, and in your stillness, you begin to see what truly matters. In the world we live in today, everyone wants to be heard. People rush to speak, to post, to comment, to argue. There's a constant pressure to respond, to always have something to say. But here's a truth that Buddha gently reminds us of. Not everything needs your voice. Not every battle is yours to fight. There is deep wisdom in choosing silence, especially when the world is shouting. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. Not because you're afraid, not because you don't care, but because you know your peace is too valuable to give away. Buddha didn't use silence to escape the world. He used it as a sacred pause, a space to return to his center, to listen rather than react, to stay rooted when everything around him felt unsteady. You can do the same. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You don't need to defend your soul, explain your journey, or fight every misunderstanding. Silence doesn't make you invisible. It makes you untouchable by things that don't deserve your energy. When you choose silence, you're not withdrawing. You're stepping into your inner strength. Because in the end, your peace is not just a feeling, it's your greatest power. So the next time you feel the urge to react, pause, breathe, and remember Buddha's wisdom. Silence is the language of truth. The more you speak, the farther you move from it. May your silence be wise. May it be healing. May it speak louder than any words could. If this message brought you peace, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more teachings inspired by Buddha.